On Tuesday, the National Football League, the coaches, the general managers, the owners, everybody commenced for the annual owners meeting here right before the draft. And some rule changes were either passed or tabled. I'm not going to talk about every single one of them, but I do want to touch on a few. Very quickly, I think the fact that they are expanding replay assist, I love it. If there's a missed face mask, the officials don't call, but replay assist can see it. Bam, get the call right. That's what replay should be used for. I've always said in sports, replay should be for 30 seconds. Let's take a look at everything, make everything reviewable. There is human error, obviously, here. We're not using AI officials and chat GPT officials here. These are real people in real time making real calls. But let's get the call right by the letter of the law. I also think for you Jersey nuts, like they're expanding that teams can wear their alternate jerseys up to 4 times in one season, is a pretty cool thing. Let me dive into, before we get to the overtime rule, let me dive into the Tush Push slash what I call it for the world champion, which you hear on audio every time you enter a Brand Sport podcast from now until the start of the 2025 NFL season. Fly, Eagles, fly. Because my Philadelphia Eagles, who don't even really need the brotherly shove, yet they use it because it is such an unstoppable, effective play. And you got Matt LaFleur, out here saying it looks like a rugby play. The funniest comment is from Sean McDermott, who's like, it's not safe, even though my team basically uses it and we call it the bobsled. I know the NFL has come out now and they've said, well, we're worried that when somebody does get hurt on this play, even though there has been no statistical evidence, I repeat, no statistical evidence that anybody has ever been hurt on the brotherly shove. They're saying that when somebody does get hurt on it, it's going to cause bad spinal injury and all that. I think the NFL has made it pretty clear they do not want to see this play in the National Football League, which is maybe one of the reasons why the fact that the Madden EA Sports video game has not included this play in the game the last couple of years, which as an Eagles fan, I believe personally is BS. And listen, yeah, it feels good the fact that my team has somewhat created a play, though technically since 2004, it has really always been in the rule book. It's just the fact that the Eagles, with Jalen Hurts being such a powerful quarterback, being able to bench press 500 pounds, has sort of made the play go from successful to borderline unstoppable. I mean, if you do stop Philadelphia once on a third down, they go right back to it on fourth down. The other thing is, it's not like we're overly abusing the play. We have variations off it. We have the jet sweep off it. You have another handoff off it. There is the pass play off it. We ran against Green Bay in the playoff game, where Buffalo was just run the bobsled all to the one side with Josh Allen every single play, and that's why Kansas City was able to stop it. I think there is obviously a natural resentment and hate towards Philadelphia pro sports. Philadelphia is a big market. They're rowdy, they're nasty, they're passionate. We know they booed Santa Claus a long time ago. We know people don't like Philadelphia, but when you have something that is better than what everybody else in the sport has, and then that sport tries to copy it and they can't copy it. It's different than the torpedo bats where other people are copying it and having success off it, though not as successful as the Yankees. Seemingly nobody has had success of this brotherly shove. The Giants had a couple people, fall down on it. They never ran it again. We know Patrick Mahomes' has history with the QB sneak. But like I guess I'm petty over the fact that I'm an Eagles fan and I love the play, and I think it is BS if they try to ban it when we're just doing whatever is legal within the rules. But at the same time, it's like ban it. We'll still get first downs on a QB sneak, or we'll do some other variation, or we'll find another play, and then they'll have to ban that. Like, just because my team and this play is better than what you can come up with or a better way to execute. It's like the NBA and 3-point shots, right? As much as I don't like the Cavs and the Celtics and the Warriors jacking up threes, well, they're winning because they have better shooters than you do. That's not my problem. That's a you problem. The way I look at it, the Eagles have by weight the biggest offensive line in football. They have one of the strongest quarterbacks and one of the strongest running backs now in Saquon Barkley, for the record, in the NFL. They're just bigger, faster, stronger than you. And this play, yes. Do the offensive linemen get low? Yes. Does it look like a nasty play sometimes underneath? Yes. But that's what football is. It's a physical contact sport, and it is nasty. Speaking of physical contact, the data tells you that in the NFL, more overtime or more time being played equals more injuries for players, as well as that the teams that go to overtime the next week, they don't play as well because obviously football is so violent it takes their body time to recover. And teams and players have pitched that, oh, we haven't gotten the ball, they get a touchdown, so they win the game. But if they kick a field goal, they don't win the game, which, yes, has always seemed awkward. And in postseason play, when there is no ties and when, it is the last game of the season, I am in favor of, yes, every team should touch the ball in the playoffs. But the regular season is different than the playoffs. And you have games the next week. And, it's not that sense of urgency like there is in the postseason where they're sort of standalone games. Obviously, your season's on the line as opposed to the regular season. I think more overtime and more times being played is bad for the sport. I think overtime should go back to first score to win is sudden death. Again, I don't think that we should be risking more players out there to be hurt. I think college football overtime is too gimmicky for my liking, and I've always said that gimmicks should stay in professional wrestling. But I don't think we should be getting more time to players in overtime. As a matter of fact, I think giving both teams the opportunity to score, especially if both of them were to score a touchdown on long drives, could lead to more ties. And we all know how much NFL fans don't like ties. So, of that nature, I'm not really in favor of that rule. I think we need to get more players off the field. I think they already go for 60 minutes of war enough. Why are we potentially expanding the game by giving each team a possession, where I really think it should be, if you get a score and you go down, and by any means necessary, field goal, safety, touchdown, you win the game. Like that clip from the Brand's World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button. While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brand's World podcast right here on YouTube.